Hello, hello. I'm hoping the connection sticks because last time I did one out here, it didn't. Before I get started, look, I'm on my deck. It's a very beautiful day, despite the fact that it's gray. I actually love gray, gloomy days. They're like my favorite days ever. So anyways, I just wanted to jump on and share something to keep in mind when you're using fitness tracking apps like calorie counters, macros and calorie counters, okay? Now, the thing is, these can be excellent resources in your fitness journey, and I will never ever discredit anybody who tracks what they eat because, well, yes, some people will say it limits the freedom in your food. I believe that it can be very beneficial and is beneficial in getting results. So I don't have all my clients track, and I don't have all my clients track all the time, but when I do have them track, there's something very important to keep in mind. Now, a lot of times what I find, even just for anybody, okay, this is not just for clients, this is for everybody to keep in mind when you're using a calorie or macro tracking app. What happens when you go on there? You put in, hi Jade, you put in your weight, you put in your height, and you put in your goals, right? When you log into the fitness tracking app, that's what you're putting in. And then it gives you a suggestion based on that. What I find and what everybody usually has happen, and this is why I have a major issue with a lot of things in the fitness industry, is it will suggest that you go into an extreme deficit. And what I mean by that is lowering your calorie intake like crazy, lowering your macros intake like no other, because it's not paying attention, it's not paying mind to the fact that potentially instead of having your level of, let's say, maintenance, where maybe you're having 63 grams of fat, maybe you've actually been having 100 grams of fat. But MyFitnessPal, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying it, but all those apps, they don't know. They don't know what you were consuming before, unless, of course, you're spending time tracking it. But either way, when they generate those results, it's not based on your history. It's not based on what you were consuming. It's not based on where you're at in your current fitness level and your nutrition. So when you go on there and you put in those things like, I weigh this much and I'm this tall and these are my goals, it's going to, of course, put you in extreme deficit. Hey, Ian. Hey, Eric. Hey, Monica. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Wayne. How are you guys? Hi, Phil. So, of course, it's going to put you in an extreme deficit. Why? This is part of the reason why I hate the fitness industry, because it wants to put you in the perpetual cycle where you're going to achieve the quick result. That's why that's why you get it for free. They host it with the advertisements for free. That's how they get paid. And then you start using them. They give you all those options to upgrade. In reality, they're doing it so you get a quick result, and you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. I'm getting this quick result. Of course, I'm going to keep doing it. And then all of a sudden, what happened? You hit a wall. Jade says, right on the money, girlfriend. I love this. I love you. Thank you. So what happens is you hit a wall. Now, you hit this wall because you've put yourself in an extreme deficit, an extreme contrast to what you were doing before. Potentially, you weren't even eating enough before. There is such thing as going into starvation mode, where you're not eating enough food, so your body, when it starts eating, is storing everything. A lot of times storing it as fat. Now, this is not good. But sorry, I'm like juggling my water. Do the fitness apps know this? No. No. They don't. And it's important that you keep that in mind when you use them. Something I recommend my clients to do, and I will tell you all right now because this is something that I've always had a problem with, and I don't want you guys to suffer through it. So I'm going to give this to you right now. I recommend you track your food intake without changing anything. Don't put anything into that app. Of course, if you need to track it, like most of them do, just put in your height and weight. Ignore everything it says. Don't follow the calories. Don't follow the macros. Ignore all of it. Just use it as a journal. And an easy way to scan things. Anyway, so use it for 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how much variety you have in your diet. If you have a lot of variety in your diet, use it for 2 weeks. If you have a little bit of variety, use it for 1. You're going to track everything. And some people on this are probably thinking, oh, she's one of those people who has tracking. Yeah, you need to track so you know where you need to be eating and what numbers you need to be hitting in order to achieve your goal. So I'm going to continue. Anyway, so you're tracking your food for like a week or two. And then you're taking pretty much the average of those numbers. And that's going to tell you what you're currently taking in. The reason why we need to be aware of what you're currently eating, what you're currently consuming, is so that when it comes to achieving your goals, we know what numbers you need to be hitting. This is something I have my clients do, because how can I even make a meal plan for them if I don't know what they're currently consuming? I don't know what their current day-to-day meals look like. Now, this to some people might be like, oh, this is a waste of time. I just want a meal plan. I just want this, I want that. It's like, well, the results that you want, the actual sustainable results that you want, are only achievable when we take a look at where you're currently at, where your body's currently functioning, because your body could be in a very unhealthy state, but maybe you don't know. And a lot of times with eating, you don't realize how bad it is until you change it. I even had a client one time go, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know that I was having so much pain from eating until I changed my eating. I'm like, yeah. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're using those apps. Don't follow those numbers until you know where you're at, because in order to set the proper amount of macros and calories and nutrients, micronutrients are important as well. You have to know where you're currently at, because if you are consuming, let's say you're consuming tons of carbs, you're consuming tons and tons of carbs, like no fats and no protein, that's going to be a problem. My FitnessPal, or I keep saying it, but I probably shouldn't be saying it. These apps, by the way, I have my clients use these apps. Like, there's nothing wrong with using them when you know the numbers you need to be hitting, because it's going to allow you to track them properly. When you don't know what numbers you need to be hitting, then it's like pretty much throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks. Eric says he used it for 1 month and then used those numbers to set nutrition goals. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to track before you set the goals, because the targets, and it has to be progressive. Remember what I said earlier. These apps create it. Jane, thank you for all the love hearts and laughs. I just love it. These apps create it so that you get in a perpetual cycle of results really fast, and then wondering, oh my God, what happened? Why am I not getting results anymore? I was doing so well and now I've upgraded. There must be something wrong. Oh, I know. I'll put in my new goal, which is 1 pound per week. And I weigh this much now and I'm this tall. And then all of a sudden you're having 1,200 calories and you're like a 5'6" female who weighs like 145 pounds. Like, damn, why are you starving yourself? Are you kidding me? So that's what I'm trying to say, is they're going to put you in those perpetual cycles because they want you to keep coming back. That is why all those fads are so successful. That is why all those systems you see on TV are so successful. My grandpa the other day, I was on the phone with him. It was his 86th birthday. I probably shouldn't say that, but it was his 86th birthday. And he was like, the best news I heard all day today was some woman lost 40 pounds. And I was like, my God, that's hilarious. But the thing is, most likely that woman's going to put it all back. But that's just my opinion, and I think that a lot of people would agree. The fitness industry has a lot of amazing things that generate amazing results, and it also has a lot of crap things that generate amazing results for a very short period of time, just to get your hopes up, and then you go, shoot, what happened? I've tried everything. And then you're like, where do I go now? Oh, this next thing, this looks better. I'm going to try that too. I've had so many messages saying, when I ask people like, oh, what have you tried so far? It's usually the response I get is, what haven't I tried? It's like, just the way the fitness industry works sometimes, and I don't agree with it, and that's why I want to let you guys know now. I want to let you guys know ahead of time that when you track on those apps, it's important that you first know what it is that you were previously consuming, because the only way you can set success targets, so a focus on success driving targets, is by knowing where you're currently at. Because imagine if you're someone who's eating 1,800 calories, and then I'm only going to talk about calories right now. Macros, micros, they're all important, but for this specific example, I'm going to mention calories. Let's say you're someone who's consuming 1,800 calories on average. You don't know what you're eating right now, okay? So this new person, you have no idea how many calories you're normally eating. You log onto this app, and then it tells you to eat 1,200 to reach your goals. You will not only be hungry, you will hit a wall. And that is just so false. You know how many people I have come into my program who go, I want to lose weight, and I end up increasing their calorie intake because so many of them are in this perpetual cycle where they have to increase their calories first, because if they don't, they're going to be starving themselves. That's my art again. I freaking love it. Anyway, so I just wanted to jump on. I always say it's going to be quick, and then I get into these rants and focuses because I truly, truly care about you guys getting results. I think it's so important that we are aware of these things while they're positioned as amazing tools and can be amazing tools. They are not for beginners. I completely disagree. They are only for beginners if you go in tracking beforehand and then you know how to set your key targets. So if you are looking to start tracking and really targeting the proper amount of calories and macros, know where you're at before. Jade says, you're safe. Tracking is important to get an idea of your fat, carb, and protein intake macros. Then people like yourself can analyze this to ensure they have a balanced diet to their goal. Exactly! Jade knows all about this too. So it's 100% true. It's so important. Eric says he eats 4,000 calories today and has not gained or lost weight in 3 months. So something has to change unless that's your maintenance, unless you're happy with maintaining. If you're happy with maintaining, then keep doing that. But if you want to change, if you want to gain muscle, or if you want to lose fat, then something has to change. We can talk about that if you're interested, which is what I'm going to say right now. To those of you who are seriously interested about knowing the right amount of calories, proteins, fats, and carbs that you need to be taking in order to achieve your goals based on where you're currently at, based on the way your body's functioning, then I want to hear from you. I will lead you in the right direction. I will see how I can help you, and if I can help you, again, I do only work with people who are serious and committed to change. I never work with people who just have questions about it. It's for people who really are looking to commit, because this is not a joke. This is you. This is your life. This is your health. This is, as my client said on our call this morning, she's like, this is your vehicle for life. Dawn, shout out. So absolutely treat it that way. For those of you who are interested in having your macros kind of evaluated by me and really setting new targets based on where you're at, I would love to hear from you. Hey, Amy, thanks for the love hearts. Just shoot me a message. I am launching this new program, as I mentioned in a post earlier, basically a fat loss centered program, but I do help people with all types of goals. I specifically focus on burning fat and gaining muscle normally. With most of my clients, that's the goal. However, if you come to me and tell me what your goals are, we can work together to create a program that's specifically related to those goals, because what we don't want is you logging onto these apps, putting in your numbers, and then being told to eat X amount of calories, fats, carbs, proteins, etc. That is completely false and not going to serve you, except for it will serve you for the first month, where you'll just drop and be like, yeah, I lost this much, and then you'll be like, what's happening? I'm not seeing results. So if you want to drop that, not run into those problems, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a message. Just let me know what your goals are, or just say hey, and we can chat about it, and we can see what you need to be doing in order to really start generating the results. I speak too fast sometimes. So anyways, have a great day, morning, night, wherever you are in the world. Just make it awesome.